No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Pow day.
Dude, let's go.
1970 was the year my dad, a Boise firefighter, started Sunburst painting as a side gig. His dedication and love for this community was always inspiring to me. That passion led me to start rowpaint.com, turning what began as his side job into a family business that's been serving Boise for generations. For over 60 years in the Treasure Valley, the Rowe family name has been synonymous with hard work, dedication, and commitment to the community that's given us so much. We are a family-owned business who are proud to be sponsors of Boise State Athletics, to serve not only Boise, but our neighbors across Idaho and the surrounding states. From my father's first brushstroke to numerous paint and coatings projects today, we're here to make Boise a better place, one project at a time. Power in people, pride in painting.
It's game day. Are you ready?
Let's go!
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RovePaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jacksons, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Bousher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course. It's time for the Jacksons Postgame Show on Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the ICCU YouTube chat, and we'll include the best ones on the show. Or leave us a message on the Signature Roofing voicemail line at speakpipe.com/BNN. The BNN Postgame Show is presented by Jacksons, where 25 cents from each hot dog sold goes directly to the Horseshoe Collective to support Boise State student athletes. Need snacks, a coffee, or cold drink? Visit a Treasure Valley Jacksons today. The title sponsor of Bronco Nation News is RowePaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. For all your painting needs, check out RowePaint.com. Now, let's go courtside and join five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, for the Jacksons Postgame Show.
All right, welcome on in, Bronco Nation. I am not BJ Rains, Nathan Carroll here with BNN. We are breaking down Boise State's massive home win, 82-65 over the Utah State Aggies. Massive, massive win for the Broncos. Came out and had a really good first half, and getting into the second half just ran away with it, especially late at one point, getting it out to a 20-plus point lead. Really, really impressive win for the Broncos. Make your way in onto the Bronco Nation's news chat and give us your thoughts, give us your player of the game, and give us what you're most excited about, because one thing's for certain, that's an exciting win for the Boise State Broncos. Game of the year. Hard to argue with that. One of the more impressive wins Boise State has had this season. Comment here from Drew, Peanut and Meadow taking it to the rack. Omar still gaining confidence. Yeah, I mean, we'll dive into all the player performances, but I think you're spot on there. Peanut, Meadow were phenomenal. Omar, I thought, played one of his best games of the season. Best 8-day stretch of BSU basketball I've ever witnessed. There's been some good ones. You know, your mind immediately goes to the Mountain West tournament win back in 2022. But, yeah, these past 8 days, you get a win against New Mexico, who was the top team in the conference. Then you go to UNR and grab a gutsy win against Nevada, and then come back home and beat Utah State in blowout fashion. Really, what is there to complain about if you're a Bronco fan? Really great crowd tonight was one of the things that certainly caught my eye. I would say probably the best crowd we've seen out of Bronco Nation tonight. Reported attendance came in just under 12,000, and eyeballing it, I'd say about 9 to 10,000 was probably right. And students were phenomenal. The crowd was locked in the whole game, standing on their feet. Really, really impressive showing from both the Broncos on the court and in the stands. Leon Rice, Mountain West Coach of the Year. Look, if the Broncos can get back up to a 2 or a 3 seed by the end of the season, I think there's a chance. I think there's a world, right? But, I mean, you'd have to imagine Richard Pitino's the favorite there. But you never know. It's been an impressive way that he's been able to, at some point, tinker, and it seems like he's finally found the right fit for this squad. This squad belongs in the dance. Cardenas for player of the game. Definitely get in your predictions and your thoughts for who you think the Boucher Real Estate Player of the Game should be here in the Jacksons Postgame Show as we recap Boise State's 82-65 win over Utah State. Alec here says, where are the Leon haters now? Yeah, well, let's see if they're in there. Let's see if, AP and the anti-Leon squad makes their way in tonight. Again, I don't know what there would be to complain about after a 17-point win against a team fighting for first place in the conference. It's it's a great win, and one that I think people sometimes forget. The pre-Leon era, we didn't get a lot of those wins, and they come plenty these days. Comment here from Ben, unbelievable win. Now truly one game at a time. Yep. Boise State, 3 games left. You've got to go to Air Force, go to Fresno, and then senior night next Friday against Colorado State. Air Force and Fresno, looking ahead, those are games that absolutely should be wins. Those are the 2 bottom teams in the conference. They have a combined 2 wins in conference play. So you'd expect to win those 2, and then, from there, pivot to that CSU game at home and try to grab the win there. So all in all, I was really impressed with Boise State's win tonight. Just some highlights for you guys, some notes that I took on this one. Pre-game talked about the importance of winning on the glass. Boise State finishes +7 in the rebounding margin. I did say that I think they needed to get to 10 to get the win, but, being +7, good enough to grab the win in this one. One of the stats that really caught my eye, held Utah State to 1 point per possession, 1.00. That had only happened, I believe, twice. Excuse me. They'd only been under 1.05 twice in Mountain West play. Second best defensive performance anyone had against Utah State. And that's really been the difference over these past, 3-4 games, is Boise State's defense has really started to take a leap. It's a unit that's starting to gel and come together, and I think they're really finding their own on that end of the floor. The insertion of RJ Keene into a regular rotation player, he's been excellent in rotations. His length has been a massive asset for the Broncos defense. And then, just little things. Alvaro Cardenas, I think, has been phenomenal in his switching, has been phenomenal in attacking closeouts. I think Tyson and Meadow and, even think to like an Omar Stanley, their effort and their intensity on the defensive end, I thought has been much, much more impressive as of late. Held Utah State to just 42% from the field. Again, that's the best offense in the Mountain West. And Boise State just put on a defensive clinic and held them to one of their worst performances of the season. Something about this team, they just do a great job. Oh, look at that. We got BJ there. He'll hop on with us in a moment. But yeah, I think, you've got to be excited after this performance. The defense is really starting to click. The offense is continuing to do their thing. Tyson Degenhart leads the way with 21 points. And what a game from Tyson. Starts the game 0 of 6, finishes the game 7 of 8 from the field. Now, I know if you check the stat book, it says he's 7 of 13. I believe that they misattributed a 3 of Tyson's to Javen Buchanan from early in the game. But to start off that cold and then to come out and finish that way, I thought was really impressive. Andrew Meadow with what it felt like in the stadium, at least, a very quiet 17 points, hits 3 threes, gets to the free throw line, knocks down 4 of them. Really, really good game from Andrew Meadow. Just again, I've talked about it plenty, but he's at his best when he can catch and shoot or attack closeouts, and there's guys around him who are able to help put him in positions to succeed. Another night like that, again, just I think all 3 of those makes that he had were off catch and shoot scenarios. And then Alvaro Cardenas, I thought was phenomenal. I thought he was probably Boise State's best player tonight. Finished with 16 points, got to the free throw line, 8 free throw attempts, made 7 of them, had 7 assists, had 6 rebounds, had just 1 turnover. And I turned over to BJ at one point during the game and just said, Cardenas is just so in control of the game when he's on the floor. He is just in charge, absolutely. It's like Luka Doncic or LeBron James-esque, the way that he is just in charge, knows where everyone is on the offense, and you just feel so confident that when he's out there, you're going to be able to get a good shot up. Broncos finished 1.26 points per possession. For those of you guys who aren't stat heads like I am, that's really, really good. Anytime you can be 1.1 or above, that's good. 1.2 and above is elite. Really, really, really great performance, I thought, from Alvaro Cardenas. And then Omar Stanley, man, he only got 15 minutes tonight, but in those 15 minutes, 10 points, 5 of 7 from the field, chipped in with 4 rebounds. I thought was phenomenal defensively in those minutes. Stanley started to look like the all Mountain West player we thought we were going to get this year. And if Boise State has that version of Omar Stanley, I think they're absolutely live to go win the Mountain West tournament. I think that's the type of team that can go and win a game in the tournament if they were to get there, the NCAA tournament, if they were to get there. If Omar Stanley can consistently put together 20, 25 minutes of really good basketball for this team, I think Boise State's going to be very, very dangerous. And yeah, the comments here agree. And Omar was great, but the whistle missed the memo. Yes, there was a stretch there in the second half where it felt like it was foul. But all in all, Omar was great. Yep, Don here, Omar was unstoppable. Max here, Omar was letting Utah State know too. Comment again from Sick here. Al, had the most rebounds. What a baller. Yeah, Alvaro, phenomenal. Led the team in assists, led the team in rebounds. At one point for a while, was leading the team in points before Tyson kind of surged late. So all in all, man, just a game that you have to be happy about if you're a Boise State fan. This is two straight Wednesdays now that the top 2 teams in the conference came into ExtraMile Arena, and Boise State put the whooping on them, really. I mean, that's back-to-back games where at some point in the game they're leading by 20 plus. Didn't quite get a double-digit win against New Mexico, but yeah, really, really impressive performance when it's all said and done. So comment here from Timmy. Great win tonight. Buchanan had great defense. Overall, great team ball. Nobody tried to play hero ball. If they close out the final 3 games, are they in the tourney? Great question. First and foremost, I'll start with Buchanan. I agree. Not his best game shooting-wise. He was getting to his spots and shots weren't falling. But the way he affected the game rebounding, the way he affected the game defensively, I thought was really, really impressive. Had 3 offensive rebounds in the game. Also had a block and 2 steals. He was phenomenal. If they close out these final 3 games, a lot of bracketologists say that they're live, that they'll be live for an at-large bid. Coming into tonight, they were in that first 4 out territory. Big win like that, it's going to be a top-tier Quad 2 win, what they call a Quad 2A win. They could potentially move up to Quad 1. That's the kind of win that could move you from first 4 out into the last 4 in territory. So, yeah, I think there's a really good chance if you win these next 3, especially if you get a win or 2 in Vegas in the Mountain West tournament, I think there's a good chance that you'll be talking about the Broncos being an at-large team. But we're going to take it to a quick 30-second commercial break. You guys get the chance to get a free post-game show here on the Jacksons Postgame Show. So we're going to get a quick word in from our sponsors. We will be back in 30 seconds.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RovePaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jacksons, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.
Check.
There we go. We are back on the Jacksons Postgame Show. This is a little loud here. Sorry about that. We'll get back to our man, Nathan Carroll, here momentarily, but I didn't want to make our man, Abe Jackson, have to wait any longer here. Abe, appreciate you sticking around.
Sure.
A little easier to stick around to talk about a game like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's about as impressive of a win as I've seen in this building. And there have been a lot of them over the years in the Coach Rice era, and having a Utah State team come in second in the league, tied for first coming in, I think, with New Mexico after that loss. And then the Broncos handing the first place and second place team losses back-to-back home games by a combination of 25 points. They're playing as well as they have ever played. And we've talked, BJ, and I've talked to Bob about it. You know, when you're going into that Mountain West tournament, you say, okay, who do we not want to see? Who are we kind of trying to avoid?
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams in the league right now that are saying Boise State's the one that they want to avoid with the wins that they're putting up.
No doubt. They're surging at the right time. 6 out of 7. They've won 3 in a row and a chance to really finish strong here. I mean, now I think it'd be a disappointment if you don't win the last 3 games.
I think so too. I mean, you take a look at the next game that they have at Fresno State, and I don't think, trap game, I don't really think it is. I think this team is so locked in right now with how they're supposed to play offensively and especially defensively. I mean, they held Utah State to 15 points under their average, what they were scoring in conference. So I think they're going to go into Fresno State, handle them easily. They have their leading scorers are out. They're going through some issues right now. I think they're going to get that win, and then I think they're going to get it at Air Force as well. But Air Force is one that's just a little bit trickier with how they play. They can get hot in that building. We've seen it before.
And the crowd tonight I thought was huge. Just a big-time crowd. The student section, hats off to the student section. They were big tonight. They showed up. They were loud. They made a lot of noise and were into the game. It was I thought the student section, the whole crowd as a whole was big, especially early in that game. You could tell in the first couple of possessions, okay, the crowd's into it tonight, and that played a big factor. But I would imagine if they can take care of these next 2 games on the road, it could be an even more special crowd than it was tonight for senior night next Friday.
Yeah, I think it's going to be big. And if there's anybody that should have a sold out senior night, it's Tyson Degenhart. In this day and age, 4 years at one school, could be the all-time leading scorer. But off the court is what you hear everybody talk about too. And I know him a little bit off the court from going on the road games, but no one has said a bad thing about Tyson Degenhart off the court. He impacts people off the court. He impacts his players on the court. I hope it's a sellout the next time that he takes the floor here for his last home game.
But tonight, though, that crowd was
huge.
Great.
The crowd was awesome. And you could tell from the first couple possessions, there was just a feel. You could tell in games like this when you walk in, the people walking in, there's just a little more energy going on. It seems like there's the music a little louder, the band's playing a little better, everyone's in a better mood, they're ready for the game. And then when you come out, the possessions, about the first 5 possessions for each team, back and forth, shots were going down, and you could tell it was going to be a good night.
And I thought the defensive effort tonight, Abe, was just big because Boise State, in the first meeting against Utah State, they shot, or they gave up 80% in the second half, 62% overall. And tonight you hold them to like 42%. Yeah. I thought the defensive effort, I mean, maybe were they just missing shots tonight? Did you see a big difference defensively?
It was the interior defense. I mean, at Utah, in Logan, it was drive after drive after drive. We got dominated by points in the paint by way over double digits in that game in Logan. But here, the rotations were good because they got some quick, strong guards who can get into the paint. But the rotations were great. Buchanan, Degenhart, Ugbo, Stanley came over, went vertical, made him finish over the top and through you instead of just really free lanes, which happened the first time that the Broncos played. So that interior defense was much better.
There was a time there where Fossilov started taking over, though, and there's 3 or 4 possessions in a row where he scored. I mean, that guy's a heck of a player.
Good.
He is a heck of a player. I don't know why he's not a better free throw shooter for how good of a player he is.
44% in conference from the line.
That is weird. And they've got some players, but I thought Boise State tonight really just moved the ball around well. I think they finished with 15 of assists. It felt like more than that. I know Alvaro had 7, but just seemed like good ball movement, good spacing. You had 4 guys in double figures tonight, 3 with at least 16. It just seemed like overall, I mean, it's really kind of hard to find anything to really be upset about.
There's nothing really. Everyone who touched the floor really contributed. Ugbo had a great start to the game, got the crowd going, got the Broncos going offensively. Omar Stanley, that's the Omar from last year, taking bumps inside, having great touch at the rim, getting some rebounds. And then the second half for Degenhardt ended the first half with 5 points, ends with 21 points. And then Cardenas, 1 assist in the first half, 7 assists total in the game, and only 1 turnover in playing 38 minutes. He's a calming aspect to this offense. Now, there are some times the shot clock goes down, but that happens to every single team. But when he has the ball in his hand, you just know that something good's going to happen offensively. It just feels like it does, and usually it does. And in this game, it felt like every possession in the second half did.
Also felt like Javen Buchanan had more than 2 steals, but he got credited for 2 steals, had a block shot as well, 4 points. I mean, even a guy like that who doesn't light up the score sheets, impacting the game in other ways, like an R.J. Keene. I mean, it just seemed like everybody that went in there. But, I mean, we got to talk about the minutes provided by both Emmanuel Ugbo, but more importantly, Omar Stanley. Yeah. Leon admitted to us in the postgame that he should have played Omar more, but they got into kind of the free throw offense down the stretch where they just wanted to get guys in there that were good free throw shooters. And he even said with Omar, he's a fine free throw shooter. I think he looked down and he said, wow, he only played 14 minutes or whatever, they round up 15, I guess. But very encouraging. 10 points, 4 rebounds, and that looked more and more like the Omar Stanley. And another reason when you throw in Carmichael and now Stanley, and just another reason why there's a lot to be excited about here down the stretch.
Yeah, it is. Everyone's playing well. And again, I don't know how this guy flies under the radar with some of the games that he has, but we haven't even mentioned Meadow. I mean, he had an amazing
17 points,
17 points on 5 of 9 shooting. And he walked by us when we were at a commercial on our post-game show with Bob. And I just said, hey, great job driving it to the hoop. And he said, we work on that every single day, taking contact and finishing through. He got bumped a couple times really hard on his drives and finished right through it. So for some reason, all year long, Andrew Meadows' stats have flown under the radar.
Yeah.
And then you take a look at it, and it's 17 points on 5 of 9 shooting. He has 5 rebounds and just does a great job.
Yeah, it was, like I said, overall just a lot to like. And what are you looking at? Plus 19 there as well?
I thought that was his minutes.
Plus 19. He had the team high plus 19 tonight in 34 minutes. But overall, just a very impressive game. And now a different kind of challenge. You're all of a sudden the bracketologists the next few days are going to be putting them even closer to the bubble, the right side, if not in the right side. They're feeling good at this point. But obviously 2 games coming up where you're going to be big-time favorites on the road and a different kind of challenge to keep this thing rolling.
It is, and it's going to be just a complete opposite environment from the 3 places that you played in. Packed house against New Mexico, a pretty rowdy crowd in Reno, packed house here tonight with Utah State, and then you go to Fresno where their place holds 15, 16,000, something like that, and they might have a couple thousand. It's going to be a much different environment that the Broncos are going to have to get through.
But, I mean, you got to feel great about how they're playing. I mean, you expect them to go to Fresno and then Air Force and get 2 wins, and you would expect senior night to be an electric atmosphere. I mean, if there was ever a time to be playing at the right, I've said this stat a couple times, Abe. I mean, they're not there yet, but only once in the last decade have they gone into the Mountain West tournament on a, winning streak, not 1 game, but 2 or more. They got a chance to go in as hot as they've ever been into the Mountain West tournament, which is something we're not used to. And obviously, like you said, nobody wants to play them. But I mean, if there was ever a time for them to be playing like this, they're doing it at the right time here.
They're finding the rhythm and they're finding the right schemes to use defensively and offensively. And I feel like everyone is still getting better. There's some teams I think that you just see and okay, this is what we are, and this is how good we are, and this is where we're going to go. And if it takes us to March, then great. I feel like Boise State's getting better. I think that Javen Buchanan's defense is getting better. I feel like Andrew Meadow has hit another little stride in his game, driving to the hoop and not just shooting threes. And then the consistency of Degenhardt and Cardenas every single game. I think that this team's getting better, and it's at the perfect time.
Well, we appreciate you sticking around, Abe. We'll see you in Fresno. Nice win for Boise State, and as always, pregame, postgame, we appreciate your time, Abe.
Yeah, man, good to talk to you.
Hey, let's hear from Jared Calhoun, the head coach at Utah State. If you're not a Leon Rice supporter, you may want to turn this off. He was very complimentary of Leon Rice here in his postgame. Jared Calhoun, the head coach at Utah State, one-on-one with Bronco Nation News. Hopefully. Pull it out, I guess, and we'll try again here. I'm not sure why it's not playing there. We will try again. Abe, we'll play a commercial or something. You don't need to stick around with our bad technology here. Abe Jackson, appreciate him for jumping on. As always, we'll try to put that back in. That should be the one right there. We'll try that again. Jaden, let's see if we can hear Jared Calhoun, the Utah State head coach.
I credit, Leon and his staff. I thought they were the hungrier team. They're trying to play in the NCAA tournament. They're trying to get in. This is an NCAA tournament team. This was an NCAA tournament environment. I've watched a lot of their games. This was a big-time environment today. I thought Dagenhart, Cardenas, all those guys brought it. You have to credit them. We just didn't play very hungry. We had some success against San Diego State. I thought, playing with a physical brand of basketball, they brought it to us tonight. It was, disappointing how the physical part of this game went.
Defensively, you guys shot over 60% against them the first time. I think 42 tonight. Were you just missing shots? Did they do something better defensively?
It's like, you're emotional after a game, right? To me, you got to watch the tape. You don't get in there and rant and rave and start really breaking this game down until you watch it tonight. I know what I watched with my eyes was a physical Boise State team, a team that took it to us, a team that looked very, very determined. If they play like that, they can win a lot of games.
I was going to say, when they're clicking, they got the Degenhart kind of Cardenas combo going, and other guys are coming in. I know some people in this town say they've underachieved this year up to this point, but how do you look at them?
I think a lot of people better be careful what they wish for. I follow you, and I know you're a Leon Rice fan, and I know you've stood up for him. To me, Leon Rice is one of the best coaches in this league. He's built this program. You see this crowd. Support your team, support your coach. They got a very, very good team. They're as good as anybody in the league, right? There's really no difference between the first place team and the 5th or 6th place team. They're absolutely crazy if they hate on Leon Rice. I admire the guy. He's stayed here. He's built this from the ground up, and you saw it today. It was unbelievable. If they pack it like this, I don't think they would lose a home game.
And final thing for you, you guys are still second place, still a lot to play for, still here down the stretch. I know it's a tough loss, but how do you guys kind of?
Yeah, I just think we're just disappointed the way we performed. Right, big opportunity. Obviously, only 3 games left. We'll see how we respond. Right, we're on the road. We'll leave tomorrow. 48 hours. Colorado State's playing as good as Boise, as good as San Diego State. All these teams are good, right? So it's going to be another hostile environment. They've got a really good player in Nick Clifford, but they've got a lot of skill. And we're fortunate enough to beat them at home, right? Like, they're all the same. Everybody's the same. It's which team down the stretch brings it, and it'll be a tough out for sure.
There we go. I was muted. Jared Calhoun, the head coach at Utah State, follows my Twitter feed, he said. So he said he was following my Twitter feed and couldn't believe some of the comments and things about what folks were saying about Leon Rice after the Colorado State game or some of the recent games. So very nice words there from Jared Calhoun. And I actually want to thank him because initially he wasn't going to do the interview, and then he agreed to do it and didn't want it to be on video. And then I said, well, it's a post-game show on video. It needs to be on video. And then he said, all right, I'll do it. And then he did it and was very complimentary and nice. So tough loss. Last thing he wants to do is talk to the opposing team's media. Yeah. But I give him credit and appreciate him for doing that. And if you missed any of that, we'll get that up on our YouTube channel. But Nathan Carroll back with us here for a couple more minutes. I didn't want to shortchange you after Abe Jackson came on. He's a little higher on the payroll. I'm sorry that I had to.
No, that's all
I didn't
good.
want to make him stick around. I feel bad making you stick around, but that was nice of you to stick around for a few more minutes. And I know you kind of were taking some of the comments and things. I am waiting to see where our man AP is. Guy I loved. He's been missing in action.
Yeah,
I haven't too many tweets from him in the last month or so.
Yeah, haven't seen him. Strange.
Yeah,
wonder where he went.
Yeah,
but.
Well, don't get me started on your former boss, 247 either.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love Kevin. I appreciate him giving me kind of my first opportunity in the business. But that's just one where we don't see eye to eye. Leon's a really good coach, and I think people are just quick to forget what Boise State basketball was before Leon got here. You're talking about pretty consistently winning like 17, 18 games. 20-win season was top of the mountain stuff, and now with tonight's win, they hit 20. That's Leon's 12th in the last 15 seasons.
Yeah.
And one of those was a COVID-shortened season
where he had 19. It shouldn't 19. Count. Yeah.
So, if you're a Boise State basketball fan, you're getting 20 wins pretty much every year, right? And that he's taken it to new heights now that there's been more exposure to the program, more investment in the program since Jeremiah's gotten here. And 3 straight NCAA tournaments. And I just saw on Twitter, T3 Bracketology, who's one of the most, I guess, efficient, most correct bracketologists who does it, moved Boise State into his last 4 in with Texas and with Wake Forest losing tonight, plus this big win. He's got him in the field.
And I know field of 68, the one guy on there had them in, and then the other guy said if they win Wednesday, they'll for sure be in. And they had them as the first team out, and they're not there yet. There's work to do. They've certainly got to win the last 3 games, and we've talked about it hasn't been the greatest results of late, the last 48 hours on the bubble watch, and so there's a lot of other teams thinking, oh, they're in a position too. And when it comes down to it, unfortunately, the Texases of the world that have the power conference status, and they just get so many more opportunities to get quad 1, quad 2 wins. I still think more times than not, those are the teams that are going to win out for ratings and things, where it's a Texas in Dayton might be a little more intriguing to the country than a Boise State in Dayton. So obviously Boise State wants to continue to try to take care of business here and win as many as they can. But if they can win the next 2 games and then win on senior night against Colorado State and be 10 of 11, 1 loss since January, you would just assume, as long as they don't lay an egg in the quarterfinals against, a lower team, that they're probably, it's going to be really close. But it's going to be, and I remember being in the team room for the game again when they found out they were going to Dayton to play Dayton. That was are they going to get in? And that was, I was still pretty new here, so I didn't even really know the coaches or players that well. But I remember the excitement of that and the nervousness of then the excitement of getting in. And then the last couple of years, they had a show here. They've had one up in the Stickle where they pretty much for sure knew they were in. Even though last year ended up not being super safe. But, so I don't know what the feeling will be like this year. If, it'll be a very nervous kind of pins and needles type thing probably. But again, with where they were after that Colorado State game, just to even be talking about this almost seems crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Leon called it rock bottom, and we kept saying you had to get the SDSU win. You maybe get one mulligan the rest of the way, but you had to go win at SDSU. They don't do that. And so there was, 2 months ago, if you had told me, hey, they're going to lose to San Diego State, it felt like maybe nothing else would matter, and that would have been the one. But enough teams along the bubble have lost. Things have broken Boise State's way, and now you're looking at a situation where, if the Broncos win these next 3, at the very least, it's going to be a selection Sunday where you can be engaged as a Boise State fan.
Yeah,
right?
No doubt.
If you lose this one, you lose to CSU. Selection Sunday is, well, maybe there's a miracle and somehow they slot you in, but it's probably not. It's probably an NIT selection show for you. Boise State, they've worked their way back in it. And, like we said, there's bracketologists now putting Boise State into the field of 68 right now, and something we wouldn't have envisioned.
I wouldn't have envisioned it almost being midnight here. We have 1,151 people, including on YouTube, 233 of you watching this live on YouTube. So well over 200 on YouTube. That's one of the higher ones we've had for a basketball game in a while, especially here at 11:46 p.m. At night. So fans are at least fired up about this, and for good reason here.
Yeah, absolutely. How could you not be? And I know you and Abe talked about it. I talked a little in the open. I mean, the crowd was phenomenal tonight. It felt like last week was the wake-up call for Bronco Nation. Wednesday night, you beat and really kind of crushed New Mexico, who's number 1 in the Mountain West. Feels like Bronco Nation was put on notice. Hey, this team's good again. And 13-1 at home. Something about ExtraMile Arena. I mean, it's clicking for Boise State. They play better here. And next Friday against Colorado State will be another late one, but I think Bronco Nation's going to show out for senior night.
I know when I got here, you were already kind of hitting on some of the points in the game. We got a little bit of a glare on here. I'm going to see if I can fix. I just made it worse. I figured I might. Just overall, what are some of your thoughts here? As I do a great job here live on camera trying to fix the glare. I might have done it. What's just your take on any other takeaways that you had from the game tonight?
Yeah, again, just to reiterate from the top, I think the defense led the way, right? 1 point per possession for Utah State. That's the best offense in the Mountain West by a country mile, really. They haven't played that poorly offensively really since that first New Mexico loss. So Boise State's defense is starting to get it together. And then you chip in the fact that the offense is starting to elevate itself a little bit. Shot 41% from 3 today. Andrew Meadow was 17. When I saw that post game, I was kind of surprised. It felt like a quiet 17-point performance, but he goes 3 of 5 from 3. Alvaro Cardenas hits 3 threes as well. if this team is going to be hitting threes consistently and playing that level of defense that we just saw, I think there's a really good chance that Boise State's going to make some noise when they get down to Vegas for the Mountain West tournament. And now that you pick up this win, I haven't dug deep into all of the tiebreakers and how it all shakes out, but at least the way Ken Palm's projecting it, they're projecting Utah State, Colorado State, and Boise State at 15-5. Again, I don't know how the tiebreakers shake out, but you're talking about a good chance at potentially a number 2 or number 3 seed once you do get to the Mountain West tournament.
Yeah, and the crazy part is just that we're even here talking about this. Donate to the collective. Joe Nickel, Horseshoe Collective needs your help. Well, they do, but we appreciate Joe as always walking by here. But there's so much to like from this game. I thought defensively, I know you touched on it, but for them to shoot what they did in that first game, 60% to hold them to 42, I thought was massive. The reboundings that again on the glass, you controlled that, and they hit where's it at 9 threes. I mean, I know the percentage wasn't amazing, 9 of 22, but you didn't take to hit 9 threes, and what's that is? That's 41%.
Yeah, 41%.
You'll take that, and to hit 9 threes tonight again, they good ball movement in the zone, and I thought that was big. Somebody asked if I gave Leon the water. John says, "Did you give Leon the tears of water?" Well, I do not have the water, because Leon Rice wanted to keep the water. I did give him the water. When we start the Leon Rice press conference, I actually have video of me giving Leon Rice the water, and you will hear that momentarily. Just having fun with it. Utah State fans, I love you. You guys are very creative, and I actually thought it was just kind of funny to save it and give it to Leon there after the game, and he was not aware of that. He read it, he chuckled, he laughed, and then he said, "I'm keeping this and putting it on my shelf." So all of his awards and rings and things, and he's going to have the Tears of Leon bottled water right there next to it. So we will hear that momentarily here. But for you, what's kind of your final takeaways from this one? Obviously, a nice win. They're in position here, but now they got to go on the road and two places where there's going to be no crowd, no atmosphere. Two teams that have. What is their current record?
They're both 1-16.
Yeah, 1-16 in the Mountain. I mean, you couldn't have asked for two better road games to finish. I mean, then to go to 1-16 Fresno, 1-16 Air Force. But we saw San Diego State need a miracle kind of late drive to beat Air Force. Air Force is kind of the tricky one.
Yeah.
Fresno should be just to be completely honest with everybody, I'll just say it now. Like, my kid's got a birthday party. I've got some stuff this weekend. Like, I'm seriously considering just skipping the Fresno trip, because all of a sudden now I've got to save for maybe an NCAA tournament trip here. And so I hope folks would not hold that against me if I decide to do the pre and post game. Maybe you and me can just do the pre and post game on Saturday here from Boise at our houses. I'm serious. I mean, that may happen. I may say, you know what, we need to save the money for the NCAA tournament or the NIT now, and it just really wouldn't be much of a benefit. I mean, Fresno's going to have no fans. They're terrible. That should be an absolute.
It should be a 25-point win.
That should be just
minimum.
A blowout. And I hate to just say it like that, but it really should be. At the Air Force game, I'm for sure going to Colorado Springs. That could be a little bit scarier / closer, but still should be a double-digit win when it's all said and done. But I mean, it's they've put themselves in position here that it's made for some intriguing games and intriguing, refreshing brackets and stuff down the stretch here. And the big thing for me is just how they're playing. I mean, you're getting contributions from up and down the lineup. You're getting as much as you're just seeing different guys on different nights step up. And I know they had the stinker in Viejas almost seems like what happened there compared to with how they're playing. I mean, that was the one where it's like, oh, they're back down. And now with these last 3 wins, it's like, okay, that was just the kind of outlier. Now they're playing so well right now, and everybody's contributing. And Abe said this would be a team that nobody's going to want to play down in Vegas. And I mean, that team we're seeing right now could very easily not only get in, but win a game in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's if you're going to shoot 40% from 3, I think that's a team that could win 3 games down in Vegas. And I said that off the top, that if Omar Stanley plays as well as he did tonight, because that looked like all Mountain West Omar Stanley. It was only 15 minutes, but he was that good while he was in. If he's playing that well, you can absolutely beat anyone. You can win 3 games in 3 days. Yeah, this team's playing really well. And I think my biggest takeaway from tonight, and probably even goes back to the Nevada game, is everyone who played well. Part of the issue early in the season, well, I say early into the season, even early into Mountain West play, is you're playing 10 different guys, and it felt like every game it was okay, these 3 guys played really well, but then these 2 didn't have good nights, and these 3 were just kind of out there not doing much. It felt like every single guy who played tonight had a positive impact in one way or another. Even Emmanuel Ugbo, who gets 12 minutes tonight, early in the game, comes out, has some nice defense, gets 2 buckets early on. But everyone up and down the roster who played, you can look at that performance and said they played well. And look, when you do that, you beat really good basketball teams by 17 points. That's just the nature of the game. But I will say, cancel the Fresno trip. Cancel the Fresno trip. If they lose that game, AP can come in here and say everything he wants, because Fresno, when they were fully healthy, was not a good team. And then
they were a little more dangerous than they are now, though.
They were a little frisky. Some guys, get injured. They're in the middle of now like a gambling investigation. Reports that just the whole situation does not sound good. If Boise State loses to Fresno State, that would be far and away the most shocking game that I think I've seen since my time here in Boise. But yeah, Air Force can get a little frisky.
Yeah.
They take a lot of threes, and sometimes they get hot. And so you never know. But, I mean, again, it's one Boise State should win by 15, 20 points at least. And really it should be fairly comfortably coming back here next Friday. Boise State, more or less kind of a winning in game for the NCAA tournament. You never know with what the committee will do. But if they win out these next 3, I think they should be in a comfortable position for the NCAA.
That's just crazy to think about it. Fresno's just so hard to get to. You can't fly direct. You got to fly to Vegas or somewhere. And then as of now, I'm driving 3 hours to Oakland to fly back out of Oakland. So a lot of folks on the chat were saying party in my basement to watch the game on Saturday. Maybe we can find a sponsor or something. Yeah, and I'll go watch the game or something. We'll see. I haven't decided yet, but you guys are leaning. You're saying some of the comments are making me chuckle, but I am leaning again now, I guess, to maybe not go on that one. But Nathan, appreciate your time as always, man. Nice work, and we'll be reading your stuff at BroncoNationNews.com and getting you back on the show here real soon. But a nice win for Boise State, and certainly more fun coming on these shows talking about the last month or so with how they've been playing.
Yeah, and granted, they've only lost once at home all year, but when I've come on and done the post-game show, it's been after a win every time. So maybe there's a good luck charm in there, and Leon should fly me down to these Fresno games, fly me out to Dayton if they make it.
All right, we had our first guy, Don May, saying, "Please go. I won't regret it, and I need my positive energy. I won't regret going to Fresno." No comment. Yeah, it's actually nothing against the city itself or the team. I just unless we get about 20 new people that want to go ahead and hurry up and subscribe in the next 3 days, that money may be needed for Dayton here in a couple of weeks. So we'll see. But appreciate you, Nathan. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
we're going to hear from Alvaro Cardenas and Tyson Degenhart shortly. But first, want to thank our sponsors. How about rowpaint.com? The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, our title sponsor. There'd be no BNN without rowpaint.com. So we appreciate Andy Rowe and company. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. Check them out, rowpaint.com. TacoBellWorks.com, the SOM Management Group, Nicolason family, Taco Bell. There's several freestanding Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations around the Treasure Valley. Go support them, eat their great food there at Taco Bell, and they're hiring. So you can get more information, apply for a job at TacoBellWorks.com. I saw Steven and Stan Nicolason, the whole family at the game tonight, and so they were fired up about this one. Taco Bell, great food. And I highly recommend it at TacoBellWorks.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Idaho Central Credit Union. Rain's family made the switch. We're so happy we did, and you can as well. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. And, of course, our post-game show, Jacksons. The Broncos hit 70 with like 5 minutes left in the game. There was no drama on this one. 70 points means you get a $2 hot dog and fountain drink at Jacksons. $2 hot dog and fountain drink at Jacksons on Friday. So it's 2 days after the game, which means Friday. That's courtesy of Jacksons. They throw in a banana as well when you use your Let's Go Rewards app. So download the Let's Go Rewards app and get a $2 hot dog and fountain drink at Jacksons on Friday. Thanks to the Broncos scoring 70-plus points tonight. They finished with 82. And don't forget, you can get coffee anytime, day or night at Jacksons. 99-cent coffee day or night at Jacksons. Somebody is asking about let's see, why did you punch a pole? And the actual reason for the drywall, just getting into the minutia here, but we had it was very dark in our living room, so we had a couple can lights put in, and I didn't realize when they did that they had to cut a big hole in the ceiling to put the lights in to run the electric. And we've had that sitting there for a few months, and finally decided it was time to fix it. And so we're getting the new drywall and then the painting, and we have been super appreciative. I had to chuckle here. Pamela Anderson says she'll be starting her own YouTube page and will take all my viewers away from me if I don't go to Fresno. The first show will be live from Fresno. I'll contribute. I'll subscribe, Pamela. I'll definitely. Pamela Anderson has definitely performed in Fresno. Tyler Horton, they're saying they want to have as a BNN correspondent. Yeah, haven't made any decisions yet. We'll decide, but it's a business decision, and I'm not sure how much more we would get out of being in Fresno on a Saturday afternoon than doing the show, pre and post game shows from my studio at my house, to be honest. And there's some family components to that, like I said, with my kid's birthday party and some other things that I'd maybe like to be at. So we'll let you know in the next couple of days. Either way, we'll have full coverage, pregame, postgame. Just may be from my office and not from the game. But we've been to pretty much every game this year, so hopefully folks won't hold it against us if we don't make it to a game where they're 20-point favorites at Fresno. But let's hear from Alvaro Cardenas, Tyson Degenhart. It's almost midnight here, so we're not going to play all of this, but we'll play a couple minutes here. Tyson Degenhart, Alvaro Cardenas, meeting with the media after an 82-65 win over Utah State.
Tyson, how'd that feel?
That was a heck of a game. Really proud of this team, the way we've prepared the last month or so, and we're just seeing the fruits of our labor and the prep that we go in, and we get to show it out there in front of Bronco Nation. And I just want to give a huge thank you to the fans tonight. They were incredible. We only have one more home game, so make sure you get your tickets as soon as you can and pack it out for our last home game.
It's the last chance to see Tyson Degenhart in a Bronco shirt at home.
And Alvaro Cardenas and Omar Stanley.
How was that? We talked about the crowd. Was that morale? What do you expecting when you came here?
That was amazing, man. That was, I feel like, once again, one of the best environments we've had all season. The fans are really, really showing up. And, I mean, it helped us so much. I remember the beginning of the game, even how the crowd was just cheering for us. It was amazing. Give us that energy that we needed.
I mean, we see you be passionate, but I think tonight was probably the peak we've seen. Was it after trials, the game? I guess where did that come from?
I don't know. I felt like the team needed that, so I was just being myself and letting emotion take over a little bit, but also staying calm. That's kind of what the coaches have been on me about. I don't know. It was just a emotional game. We needed to win it, so.
And Tyson, you didn't get your first bucket for 16 minutes. What was that like?
It was just kind of one of those games. A couple of those floaters didn't go in, but that's kind of the way basketball goes. There's ebbs and there's flows, and it took a little bit. Coaches, or especially Lex, was telling me hey, shoot your shots with conviction and make sure that you shoot them to make them. And so that really stuck with me. And I still had to make sure I took them. It didn't matter if I was making them. I had to take the right shots for this team, and eventually started going in. That basket started to get a little bigger.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're Tyson Degenhart. You finished with 21 points.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what you're shooting from the field. It's just about doing what's best for the team. And for me, it's taking those open shots and making sure our offense keeps flowing. And even though those shots weren't falling, I was going to continue to do that.
Tyson, during that stretch in January where you guys have lost 4 of 6, the team stayed confident. The team, I think you said, we're still in this. Now you're entering March having won 7 of 8. Just how rewarding is that to stick with it and have the results show now?
It's really great. It's a testament to this team, this coaching staff, everyone involved with the program that. Even though we were 5-4 after the Colorado State loss, we knew what we had in this team, and we weren't a finished product, and we knew we had 11 games to kind of finish it out, and so we kind of forgot about the past, and it was a new season come February, and I think we're making the most of it.
Now the last 3 games now, 2 wins against teams that are the top 2 teams in the Mountain West. Tough road win against Nevada. Just how well is this team coming together?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're clicking at the right time. I think the team has just become a lot more poised in those hard situations when adversity strikes. So yeah, like Tyson said, we're just really proud of the team, and I think we still got a long way, and we can still get a lot better, but we're on the right track.
Defensively, last time you guys played them, they shot 60%. They're 80% in the second half. They're holding to 42%. What did you guys do different defensively?
I think for us, it was just a sense of urgency. They run a lot of stuff, and the coaches did a great job getting us prepped on what kind of things we were going to see. And it was just a 5-guy effort out there, and it was just communication. It was switching when we need to. I know we had some stretches in there that probably could have been better, but I mean, to make a team like that who shoots the ball normally pretty well to just a little over 42%, that's really good team effort.
How do you guys like the way you spread the ball around today? 4 guys in double figures, and Peanut was almost there with 9 points.
Yeah, I mean, it was great, and it's not easy against their zone, and they're switching defense like over and over again. But I think we just did a really good job of being patient, and even when our offense looked like it wasn't really flowing, at the end of the shot clock we got a good open shot. So against them, you kind of just have to stick with it and keep moving the ball, and eventually you'll get an open shot. But I mean, Peanut, I think he had some like really, really timely buckets when we had nothing going. He just goes one-on-one, spin move, left hand. So yeah, I mean, he's given us that extra push that we need offensively.
Just talking about that zone, Al, you guys started 4 for 4 from 3, and then you guys finished the first half 1 for 9, or 1 for 9 from beyond the arc. I guess was there any of you guys tweaks? Because they picked back up in the second half, you were hitting them again. Was it just finding what open looks, or what was it?
No, I mean, I think that's just the flow of the game. Sometimes you might start making them and then you miss a couple. But like I said, I think we're just staying very consistent and trusting the work. Everybody in this team puts a lot of work in, gets extra shots. So we just got to keep trusting it. And yeah, we made a couple more in the second half.
How are you guys kind of looking, big picture now, 3 games to go, and the position you put yourself in here, in terms of the bubble and stuff?
We just take it one day at a time. It was funny, we were eating before the game, and we came up on the CBS thing, and they were talking about the bubble, and it's just kind of interesting to see where we're at. But we know we still have 3 games left to prove a lot, and so we can't take these games lightly because a Q4 loss like on Saturday could really derail our bubble chances. So we're gonna have to be really dialed in for Fresno, and yeah.
Nice just to be playing in meaningful games like this down the stretch. What's this mean to you?
Yeah, it's amazing. Cody reminds me every time. How does it feel? It feels great. This is what I came here for. So yeah, I'm just happy to be here, and I'm really enjoying these last few games with the Broncos.
You mentioned the team's. There he is, Alvaro Cardenas. Appreciate him and Tyson Degenhart. And again, that was basically it. There might have been 1 or 2 more questions. You can check that out on the YouTube channel, Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Bronco Nation News, and we post all of our full press conference videos and highlights and things there. And those are either already up or will be up shortly here moving forward. Leon Rice, yes, we presented him with the water. The Tears of Leon Water, had a little fun with that, presented that to him. You'll see that video here momentarily. You'll hear from Leon Rice as well. We're taking your comments, your thoughts after Boise State's 82-65 win over Utah State, and you're watching a free show here on YouTube thanks to our sponsors, including Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game. They've been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. TheSpaTeam.com is the website you want to check out if you're looking for a pool table, a spa, a sauna, all that good stuff. They got it at Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game. Again, online, TheSpaTeam.com. The Blue and Orange Store, they got you covered as well, whether it's Boise State jerseys, caps, bumper stickers, car flags. Saw Travis Hawks at the game tonight. They got you covered. The best selection, the best prices for your Boise State gear. Get it online anywhere in the world at theblueandorangestore.com, or just go into the Boise Town Square Mall, the 2nd floor next to Pro Image. Appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise as well. LithiaFordBoise.com. View their full inventory of vehicles. They got some great deals on some 2024 models. They got to get off the lot. So LithiaFordBoise.com. View their deals, view their vehicles, and go on test drive one, be on your way. And don't forget Saturday, they got the NIL event 11-1. You can test drive an F-150 and have a Boise State football player ride around in the car with you while you're taking your test drive. LithiaFordBoise.com, 11-1. Autographs, pictures, all kinds of cool stuff. Make sure you check that out, LithiaFordBoise.com. Hey, Matt Bauscher will be picking our Bauscher Real Estate Player of the Game here shortly. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley for a reason. The Raines family found out firsthand why that's the case. Just a tremendous experience selling and buying our homes with Matt and his team. Matt Bauscher, number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Get more information online at BauscherRealEstate.com. And our friends at Ridley's Family Markets, shopRidleys.com. Locations across the Treasure Valley, the Magic Valley, different spots in between. Highly recommend Ridley's Family Markets, shopRidleys.com. They got some great deals, friendly environment, and download that Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and that is at shopRidleys.com. We're back here on the post-game show, the Jacksons Postgame Show. Don't forget, the Broncos got 70 points, so you can go get that $2 hot dog and soda on Friday at all the Treasure Valley Jacksons locations. That is courtesy of Jacksons. Definitely showing up on senior night, Cody says. Yeah, you would expect that to be just a massive crowd on senior night now with the way that Boise State is playing and should be on a 5-game winning streak going into that one. So Tom says, nice game, guys. All right, let's hear from Leon Rice. And yeah, I had a little fun at the beginning here. You see me presenting Leon Rice with the water, the Tears of Leon water that I joked about on the pregame show. And for any Utah State fans that have infiltrated the chat here, this was just having a little fun. I thought it was very clever. I actually really enjoyed the water. I enjoyed, the student section in Logan. I think it's one of the best ones out there. So just having a little fun after the win. Presenting Leon Rice with the Tears of Leon water here post game.
Beautiful crowd.
Logan, they passed this water out. I didn't know if you wanted to drink tonight.
Oh, I love it.
The students have that. You can hold it. I'll take it.
That's so cool. That's awesome. I like it. I'm going to keep that. Can I keep it? Yeah. It's going on my shelf.
How's that one feel?
It was great. This time of year, you go through, we had a pretty good last 3 games. Played 3 great teams, and, you look at your team in shoot around, and I've learned that lesson. Don't judge it. Don't decide how we're going to play at shoot around. Coaches, we overanalyze stuff. And we had a good, almost a calmness about us, but I'm like, oh, does that mean we're low on energy? And we weren't. We were ready to go. This team knows how to get ready, and pretty proud of them. But, also I'll credit our crowd. That was one of those atmospheres where you felt it. And on a night like this, probably affected our guys in a super positive way, gave them some energy, gave them some juice when you need it, because this is a tough time of year. All these teams have been practicing since August, and it's a long, long season. And I thought we played with great energy and great, togetherness, great enthusiasm, and beat a good team.
Defensively, you guys continue to play better the last couple of weeks, and they shot 60% first time they played them, to hold them to 42. Kind of what changed?
Yeah, and they're we were playing some pretty good D, and they had us on roller skates at the start of the game. They were scoring, and we were scoring. It was a play being played at a high level, both teams. And what's changed, and I saw it, when I went back and looked at the time we played them before, we've gotten a lot better defensively. We're more connected. We know our assignment's better. We're harder to get to the rim on now. And, I just think we've Coach Burns has done a great job with our new guys of getting them up to speed and getting them all connected, because, we play team defense, and if one guy's off, like I said before, then your whole defense is off, and I think we're becoming a connected team defensively and offensively.
How do you like where this team sits? Now you're entering March, and having 7 of 8, and like you said, 3 big wins in the last week. Just how do you like where you guys are sitting?
Yeah, I just couldn't be more pleased with the momentum and the energy and the enthusiasm, and fun to be around. It's just, you hate to take a day off, because I want to squeeze every minute out of these guys together, and because they just great guys to be around on the every day, whether their circumstances are perfect for them. They don't care. They just care about the team, and they care about having a great togetherness and fun together, and but they work, and they they all work. And so, that's why you're seeing guys that you didn't know Peanut's name 2 months ago. That's why you see them get better, because they all keep working, and And that's why you see Omar coming alive, all those kind of things, because they just keep grinding and keep getting better. And that's what I'm most proud of, because that's the true measure of success, is guys that get knocked down and get back up. And this team has done that maybe as good or better than any team I've ever had.
During that stretch in January where you lost 4 of 6, both Tyson and Al remained confident and, said, hey, get things on the right track. How much was their leadership? How valuable was their leadership during that?
Absolutely huge. But again, like I said, it goes to each individual, because every individual, 11 different guys have started, 11 different guys have had opportunities, not have opportunity, but doesn't matter. They just keep going, and they keep fighting to get better. And guys that haven't played for a couple games are still doing that. And, they're going to impact this season.
You're talking about guys coming up and making an impact. You got 4 guys in double digits. Peanut's got 9. Just how did you like the spread of scoring tonight?
Yeah, it was great. That's when you're good. When you have, I thought Peanut had some big baskets at some kind of crucial time, got us through, because Tyson only had 1 basket in the first half, and Peanut provided some scoring. Tyson had 2 fouls. We had to juggle some foul trouble. Omar had 2 fouls and was playing great. That's when you're a good team, where it's not just those 2 guys that you rely on. You can't beat people if it's that, and we're not that anymore.
The combined minutes you got from Omar and Emmanuel, how big is that?
Huge, and they're big bodies. They're great, rim protectors, and that I'm so excited about Omar, and it just turned into he should have got more minutes tonight, but it turned into a 7-minute free throw. We had our free throw team out there. Not that he can't make them, that's probably should have got him out there, but no, he looked like Omar, and that's coming. And there's people in this league that know how good he is and know what they saw tonight. They're probably okay, keep him on the bench. The other coach is probably saying that, but I'm not going to do that. So he'll be out there more.
There's Leon Rice. He talks for another 5 minutes or so, but it's 12:14, and we don't need to hear all 10 minutes of that. If you want to hear the rest of Leon Rice's post-game interview, that is available on the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. Taking your thoughts, your comments after this one, 82-65 win for Boise State. Got to thank a few more sponsors, though. First, Transportation Compliance Service, transcomservice.com. You want to get into the trucking industry, they can help you out every step of the way at transcomservice.com. DOT overweight, all the permits and things. They can get you towing that first load in no time. Transportation to Compliance Service. Hey, Lean Feast can help you eat healthy and drop some pounds. I'm down 30-plus pounds thanks to Lean Feast. LeanFeastMeridian.com. LeanFeastMeridian.com is the website. 208-487-5782. Whether it's steak, shrimp, chicken, fish, they can help you out, and they are ready for your order. LeanFeastMeridian.com. They deliver, and it's good in your refrigerator for 5 days, so you can order on a Sunday and have food all week. They're feeding the football team, the basketball team. They can feed you as well. LeanFeastMeridian.com. Hey, leave us a voicemail. I think we had 1 voicemail. I'll try to get these in the system when I get home tonight, and we'll play them on tomorrow's show. We have a couple, I believe. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave John Mallory and I a voicemail. Speakpipe.com/BNN. You can leave us a voicemail on your thoughts on this team, on Leon Rice, anything else you have. It's brought to you by Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. And whether it's a re-roof or repair, an estimate, an inspection, all your roofing needs, make sure you hit up the official roofing company of Bronco Nation News. And that, of course, is Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. We got some comments rolling in here. And, yeah, Mason Fozlov, man, he is a heck of a player. Sky says, my buddy from Logan showed me a video of Fozlov working with some disability kids a ton during his free time. Pretty cool, and that's cool to see. And yeah, Mason Fozlov, man, heck of a player tonight. The Boise State had trouble stopping him. He had 4 threes, 19 total points tonight. He was very impressive, Mason Fozlov. They got some good players on Utah State, but I think Boise State is not a terrible matchup for them because of the size. Like a San Diego State, I don't think it's a great matchup. Utah State, I think you're okay playing against. And Boise State played great defensively, hit some shots, and that was just a great overall win tonight for Boise State. I agree with you. Should have won in Logan, 4-point play at the end. Yeah, Let's see. Mr. Buchanan says the defense for the player of the game. I'm taking a look here. Player of the game tonight. Tyson Degenhardt had 21 points. You had Andrew Meadows, 17 points, 5 rebounds. Alvaro Cardenas had 16 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. And you had Omar Stanley, 10 points, 4 rebounds. You know what? It's a very tough call tonight. I like the idea of the defense, but I am going to go slight edge to Alvaro Cardenas. 16 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds tonight. I think Alvaro, you had a lot of good guys that could have deserved it. Javen Buchanan was great defensively, had a couple steals. You can go down the line. 5 or 6 guys could have got it. Certainly could have been a team effort tonight, but we are going to give it to Alvaro Cardenas tonight. 16 points, 7 assists. He had 6 rebounds as well. So a lot of guys could have got it, but we're going to give the Boucher Real Estate player of the game tonight to Alvaro Cardenas. And again, BoucherRealEstate.com. All your real estate needs. Make sure you pick up BoucherRealEstate.com. And whether you're buying or selling a home, best in the business there with Boucher and Boucher Real Estate. So a lot of capable guys. We'll give this slight edge there to Alvaro Cardenas. And now the Broncos, nice win tonight, but got to keep it rolling. 2 games against Fresno and Air Force should be, again, keyword should be, 2 easy wins, and then you see what happens senior night against Colorado State. It's well after midnight tonight. We appreciate all of you for watching. 1,400 of you on here and still 172 of you on YouTube. So very appreciative of all you guys for sticking with us this late at night. But go to bed and then wake up and watch us at 9 a.m. again tomorrow. We're going to be live with John Mallory here in about 8.5 hours. We'll get John's perspective, and we'll continue to break this thing down and maybe get some updated bracketology and Ken Palm and net numbers and all that, and kind of see maybe big picture what this means tomorrow. So get some sleep. Appreciate you guys. I've still got a story to write. It'll be a late night here at the arena as they're here cleaning up in the stands now. So we'll get a story posted. When you wake up, you can read BroncoNationNews.com if you're a paying subscriber. Again, $50 for a full year at BroncoNationNews.com using that promo code BNN50 deal. And we will get all the full interviews from the players, from the coaches, highlights. That's all going to be on our YouTube channel. And we'll get a story written as well. And when you wake up tomorrow, yes, Johnny Ballgame, you are on live at 9 a.m. tomorrow, sir. So go to bed. And as Tyler says, please subscribe and like it. Yep, we would appreciate that. Appreciate everybody for the kind words and for watching. It was a fun night at the old X tonight for Boise State. Again, 82-65. The Broncos get the win. Get some sleep. We'll talk to you in 8.5 hours, 9 a.m. Bronco Nation News Live. John Mallory and I will have some thoughts on this one after we had a chance to sleep it off. And what a win. Congratulations to Leon Rice and Company. Congratulations to all of you Boise State fans watching this. What a difference a month can make. The Broncos were left for dead after that Colorado State game, and here they are 7 out of 8 later, looking like a team that just might find a way to pull this off and reach the NCAA tournament here. So get some rest. Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for supporting us. Go subscribe. Tell your friends. And we'll see you guys at 9 a.m. Bronco Nation News Live. Again, final score tonight, 82-65. Boise State takes down Utah State. The Broncos are rolling, and you know where to get that coverage. Bronco Nation News and BroncoNationNews.com. Good night, everybody.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RowPaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jacksons, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.